The U.S. men's national team has gathered in Frankfurt, Germany, ahead of its final match of 2012 in Russia. It has been a very successful year for the U.S. With a 9-2-2 record, they are poised to set the mark for best winning percentage in a calendar year. We had a chance to catch up with head coach Jurgen Klinsmann, who underlined the challenges and opportunities ahead of their final match of 2012.
Well, we ask for these games, in particular because those are big learning curves for us. Playing Italy, playing in Mexico, playing, in Russia. Then we're not the favorites there. They are the favorites. And for us, we can take a lot with no matter how the result will end up. But still, we want to go there and get a result. We want to go there and beat Russia, knowing that it's one of the top teams in Europe at the moment. And the World Cup qualifiers, they're 4-0. That's not going to be an easy task. But we need to measure ourselves with the best teams out there and build even more confidence. Well, calling in players like Mix Diskerud, Joe Zhao, or Josh Gad, is a clear signal to that generation, the kind of the under-23 Olympic team generation that unfortunately didn't go to London, that, hey, we're watching you, we follow you, we want to help you to get to the next level. So this is a first taste for them, what it means to be with the senior national team. So to train alongside guys like, Timmy Howard and Carlos Bocanegra and all these guys, Jermaine Jones, and also to look at them and say, shoot, I want to get to that next level. But it's also really an opportunity for them, to come in, to be accepted right away and to show what they can do. And maybe they even, get some minutes in that game against Russia. Well, Timmy always was committed to that team. But obviously, when you're then part of the World Cup qualifying and he is this dual citizenship situation, having still a choice, it is a big decision. And I think, that Timmy is just maturing now. He's becoming a better pro. He's becoming a more mature player. And he knows that, once he now makes that decision, the final one, that, that's going to be his life. So I don't want to put any pressure on a situation like that. That should have been decided by the player. Obviously, once comes a time where, there's no time left, when you don't go now into the hexagonal, when you go towards Brazil 2014, and he knows that. So, from an attitude and from a kind of a personal commitment that he has, that was always there. But making that final call, should be left up to him, his personal situation. So we are thrilled that he's now back, in the group. The group welcomed him with open arms, and he gives us quality on our roster. We are happy having Josie back in the group. Obviously, he was left out, in the last two games against Guatemala and Antigua because of the way he played in Jamaica, and maybe a couple of things that were before that last couple of months was not so happy about. I mentioned it to him. Now having him back in the group gives us the opportunity to catch up, to talk about through that stuff, and also to see his total commitment and on the field. We often forget that Josie is not a 30-year-old player that you expect to be already kind of perfect and mature and all that stuff. He's going still through up and downs, which is totally normal. So when a down period comes and maybe I leave him out of the roster, that's not the end of the world. So, but it also is a little signal, hey, Josie, maybe there was something that we didn't like before. So now we can catch up and see how it goes on then. I think we can take a lot of positives from this year. It's been a very successful year, but also a year in transition. We introduced new players, young players into the group. We have a bit of a different approach than they had, before my time. We got to know each other a lot more throughout all those games, and I really think that we are kind of developing a style, that suits us, that the players are enjoying. We want to close the year in a very positive way, and then go into a very busy 2013 with World Cup qualifying, Gold Cup, and a lot of exciting friendly games, hopefully. So therefore, we go into Krasnodar, a different city that nobody has been before, and we're trying to get a result.
A reminder, you can watch the U.S. take on the number 9 ranked team in the world, Russia, on Wednesday, November 14th, with coverage beginning at 10 a.m. Eastern Time on ESPN2, ESPN3, and Univision. You can also follow the match on USsoccer.com's Match Tracker and on Twitter @USSoccer.